the regular meeting of Dublin Ramon Services District. Board of Directors. Presiding this evening is President Rich Hoffman.
Alrighty. All meeting in order. We'll pledge the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right, thank you. Roll call, please.
Director Howard. Here. Director Forte.
Here.
Director Mishlock. Here. Vice President Von Leopold. Here. President Halkin.
Here. Okay, special announcements. I have the first one. An advisory committee meeting was held shortly before this meeting. Pursuant to Government Code Section 54952.3, no director will receive any compensation or stipend participating in more than one meeting on this date, and is further specified in the DSRSD policy P100-16-2, day of service. Any other special announcements?
Yes, I do. I have four. Just FYI, the Zone 7, they updated or amended their strategic plan back in mid-August, and it includes some language on alternate water sources. I just want to share that with you. Their strategic plan item 1.8 is to continue to work with other South Bay aqueduct contractors to explore possible advantages and increased opportunities for local water storage or partnerships in regional water supply projects. We were raising out of the Bay Area Regional Reliability Project. And then they had policy or strategic item number 1.9, work with retailers to develop more local water supplies, including the use of recycled water. And I was curious if the board at any point wanted to have that as an agenda item to discuss, or if not that, would you like a copy of it with your weekly update? You know, if you want to discuss it at the board meeting or agendize it, or a copy.
I think a copy first.
I think a copy first. Let's take a look at it before we...
The second item is also a Zone 7 item. Their board approved a resolution in support of the California water fix on September 20th. And I spoke there and shared a couple of following themes. I mentioned to them, given the uncertainty with a variety of projects for water supply, that all projects should be supported at this time. We should keep investigating and keep all of our options open. We don't know yet what will work economically, politically. There's a lot of people, a lot of moving parts with all the water projects. So when we do, we should keep all of them alive. I noted that all the projects are going to be expensive, so the Zone 7 board shouldn't be dissuaded by cost. You say, well, it's going to be expensive. Well, that's how we need reliability, and I tie it back to some polling we've done about a year and a half ago in the community in the Tri-Valley, where they had expressed support for a project that could bring reliability. I also noted it's easy to criticize any project out there, terrorist sites, the water fix, the total reuse, desalination, to North of Bay transfers, others. And so long as all that's done is critiquing projects, we end up 20 years from now without having any project that boosts or preserves our reliability. And then I encourage them to bolster consensus and support the Tri-Valley for water supply. It was covered in the press, between being a little opaque perhaps in talking, and the article writer writing a certain way, and an editor going into the article. The word got out in the paper kind of opposite of what I said. We tried to straighten it out with it, and send out clarification this week, so you guys can do that. Third item, also Zone 7 item, is they held a special meeting earlier this afternoon. One of the items was a closed session to discuss the general manager's retirement. There is no public information available on this. I do know stuff, but I just want to say. And then the last announcement is a reminder that we're doing as part of a nationwide campaign that we'll be participating on October 12th in the National Day Without Water. It comes right in the middle of Water Professionals Appreciation Week, which also recognizes the value of water and wastewater infrastructure workers. Last week, we produced a video in which Rodora Biagtan described what it was like to grow up in the Philippines without reliable water service. This year, we're using our website, Dwelling Service, and social media to promote the campaign's initial video. It's also playing on the district office lobby show. We will show it to local elected officials attending the Water Appreciation Week tour of the water system. Finally, we collaborated with Central Sand, Newcastle Water District on an op-ed for local newspapers to that end.
Right. Okay, that dispenses with item 4. Okay, item 5, public comment. No, public. They're in a different role right now, but they're members of the public. Actually, we all are as well. We'll dispense with that item. 6A, reports by general manager and staff.
A couple of events. Tomorrow, Zone 7 celebration is their 60th anniversary at Lake Del Valle. It's concurrently the 50th anniversary of Lake Del Valle and the dam. So the Department of Water Resources is partying with Zone 7 in a joint party. So this is an opportunity to show the flag at that event and to perhaps recount how the previous generations brought water supply and reliability to Tri-Valley. Hopefully we continue to bolster that in our generation. We're celebrating Water Professionals Week on October 11th. We're doing a tour of the DSRSD water facilities, not the wastewater facilities, because everything's torn up by construction. We do a bus tour of the water facilities. It is an 8:30 to 1:30 event. We invite a number of elected officials. We have some, at least a couple of elected officials that have accepted, and some elected officials that are sending staff. The most distinguished visitor will be Assemblywoman Catherine Baker. She'll be there not for the whole event, but I think she can make it for a portion of the event on October 11th.
I have a Alameda County Special Districts Board meeting at noon. Is there a way to break away at noon without
Yes.
causing problems with the bus? Okay.
Yeah, we'll be back at the field house facility, so you'll be back at your car.
Okay.
Because we'll be having lunch.
Okay.
So, you missed the best part.
Okay.
That's all right. Castorelli Sand provides pizza.
Okay, 6B, JPA committee reports. Looks like this is nothing written. Agenda management is certainly screens of the straight through agenda. And I have item 7A. Approval of minutes, regular meeting minutes of September 19th, 2017. Do I have a motion? I have a motion.
I'll second.
I almost had 2 seconds, so back that up. Time, a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That controversial topic passes unanimously. On to the next controversial topic, consent calendar, board business. There is no consent calendar. Whoa, all right. Alert to meeting, that's cool. All right, board business. Item 9A, approve new electrician 1 and 2 job descriptions and abolish electrician classification. Floor. Okay, thank you. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns? Okay, I have a motion.
I move we approve 9A.
There you go.
Approve the new electrician 1 and 2 job
This is exciting
description
stuff.
and abolish electrician classification.
That's a fully formed motion at the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, 9B. Receive a presentation regarding Tri-Valley Water 101 and discuss.
Good evening. This is a presentation that has been prepared by DSRSD for our sister agencies. You see them all at the top there. Okay, what is that? So at the end, whoa.
Hit the wrong button. There you go.
Which button? Hold up, up button.
Just keep
Sorry.
pushing
Yeah, the one that
buttons.
says up. This is, excuse
It's all right.
me.
I don't think this.
Here we go, we got it.
You got it? Okay.
I got it.
So at the end, if you have any questions, I'm curious to know, because everyone's supposed to be presenting these to our internal audiences first. Then we'll market this talk to our customers outside the district. So, you're going to get the Reader's Digest version. I'm not going to give you all the information because you really kind of know most of the thing. But the big picture is, where does our water come from? And you all know that the largest reservoirs in the state of California are in snow-capped mountains. So ours happens to come from the western side of the Sierra Nevada, the Feather River watershed. This is 80% of our water. Next. And the rest of the water comes from our local runoff. Now this is an old picture during the drought, so it doesn't show much storage there. But, it's good for people to understand what happens in a drought. That all of a sudden your local watershed doesn't have quite as much water in it. So it's like 10% of the water, next. And the next 10% is from our groundwater. And the good news is that groundwater is really storage. It's not a source of water. It's all the way, but local runoff often goes into the groundwater. And the good news is that Zone 7, our wholesaler, does a bang-up job of managing our groundwater. In fact, they do such a great job that the state holds them up as an example for everyone else to follow, because sustainable groundwater management, that's what it's all about. A lot of folks aren't as fortunate as we are to have our groundwater managed so well. So this is something we take for granted. Thank you, Zone 7. Okay, yes. So you want to know who brings it, who delivers the water to us. So, State Water Project, they're the folks who, collect the water, and they provide the water to our wholesaler. And here's a bunch of statistics about the State Water Project. More than you ever want to know, and I can tell you even more than this, but we'll go to the next slide. So Zone 7's share of State Water Project is 2%. We're the first stop on the State Water Project progress, mostly to Southern California, Central Valley and Southern California. And so we are the first people to take water from this source. And here you can see this is the Zone 7 area of influence. This is where they function, and you can see the water. Oh no, this is the water treatment plant there. So this is them, and then very good. Next slide. How does the water naturally get to us? So this shows you the Feather River watershed on the western side of the Sierra. It goes into Lake Oroville. This is important to know. It's a wonderful recreation place, but it's got some problems. Next. So this is a beautiful dam, tallest dam in the country, by the way. How cool is that? But, next slide. Damage spillway. You might have heard about this in the news. And now it's time for you to realize that it impacts us. Because this is where our water is stored from our big watershed from the State Water Project. And so, whatever the cost is, some of it will be picked up by the federal government, some of it will be picked up by the State Water Project. The portion that the State Water Project pays, about 2% of that is going to be charged to Zone 7, and they're going to pass that on through to us. So we're going to pay maybe a 0.5%, rough numbers. And heaven only knows what the total bill will be next. So repairs are underway. That's just kind of a, picture. So you get the sense of how big and massive the problem is. So Oroville Dam releases water back into the Feather River. So they dam up the water, and it's flood control. And then they release the water back into the Feather River next. And then the Feather River blends into the Sacramento River next. And this becomes the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta. Next picture. This is such a cool picture. Look at Delta. Isn't it beautiful? It's so beautiful, and yet, that's why our water tastes and smells the way it does, because it flows through the Delta. So understand this, and this is man-made, a lot of this. It's just not naturally this way. Next. So then the water goes to Clifton Court Forebay. Next. Then we get to the Harvey Banks pumping plant. That's to lift the water up to get it into the California Aqueduct, and it lifts it up quite a bit. Then we have Bethany Reserve, getting into the South Bay Aqueduct. That's where the State Water Project splits. South Bay Aqueduct comes to us, Santa Clara Valley Water, and Alameda County Water District. The rest, Southern California. Next. So, you just learned about the split. And so Oh, back up one second, sorry. So notice how the stuff that's going to Southern California, about 30% is San Joaquin Valley. Those are the farms. I like to eat the fruits and vegetables that come out of the Central Valley. They need water. The other 66% goes on down to municipal industrial businesses, Southern California. Okay, yeah. So, Zone 7 treats the water at their two treatment plants, Patterson Pass and Del Valle. You find them on the map. Patterson Pass, Del Valle. Then they have their DMIN facility to take the minerals out of the groundwater. That helps us, that enables us to use as much recycled water as we do. Next. Zone 7 distributes it to the 4 retailers. Next. Retailers deliver water to homes and businesses. Next. So, now you might wonder, what is the value of water? I know, you were all sitting on the edge of your seat waiting to come up with the answer to that. Well, the bottom line is we need it to live. Plants and animals need water to live. And the curious thing is that our bodies are made up, 2/3 of our body is water. 2/3 of the earth is covered in water. How cool is that? Isn't that cool? So at any rate, this is, we need water to live. Next. And so the next, this is like the $64,000 question, how affordable is water? Well, the EPA came up with a formula. And that formula is that if your water bill is less than 2.5% of the median household income, then that's considered affordable. I don't know why it was the EPA coming up with this and why it wasn't somebody else, but that was the source. So Tri-Valley median household income, according to the city of Dublin, $120,000. I'm just telling you, city of Dublin, so there's some people who make a lot more than you or I, but,
Didn't know most of
median,
them lived here, though.
average. So then, the Tri-Valley average annual water bill is $1,067, and that's less than 1% of the median household income. This is Tri-Valley numbers, by the way, okay? Next slide. So then you might also, another way to think about value of water is compared to other utilities. And when you think about how we the water, wastewater, recycled water folks, we are the original environmentalists. The reason people can live in tight, heavily populated areas is because we can keep them healthy. We have gotten rid of things like cholera and typhoid and all these horrible waterborne diseases. So when you look at this price tag, this is a pretty good deal. And when you compare it to other utilities that aren't maybe quite as necessary for life, like high-speed internet, it's a really good deal. So that's another way to think about value of water. Next. So another way to think about it, third way, is to think about comparing it to other liquids. And again, we're talking about pennies as compared to dollars. So, people can argue against all this stuff, but it's pretty interesting to see. Tap water is really a great deal, as opposed to bottled water, by the way, which isn't regulated like tap water. Next. Okay, now, all the slides you've seen up to this point are slides that all the agencies are going to use. This slide and going forward are unique to us. So each agency has to put in there, because I'm going to be talking to my customers, so my customers want to know, where does our money come from? This should look familiar because it's in our annual report. We've repurposed it in this document. Next slide is, where does the money go? Looks very similar, same kind of graphic, And the third slide is, where do we spend the big bucks? This is the construction projects. You want to go back? Okay. Wages and benefits, 34%, water, 26%, debt on major infrastructure, 14%, contracts, 10%, chemicals, utilities, one-time equipment purchases, 8%, and 7% to the partnerships.
Your contract length, what's to the debt slice, what's to the farm?
Ah, good point. So we gotta get
Get all the
the
lines.
arrows, thank you. Wow, what an eye. Very good. The lines aren't matching up with
So
the color.
what's partnerships vis-a-vis,
Aqua, Casa, water reuse, correct me if I'm wrong.
get on with that.
That would be Durwa.
Durwa, Lava.
Yeah, that's real, all right, so that's, we'll share cost of producing. Okay, I mean, nobody's gonna go there, it's just, I'm trying to get my head around recycled water versus water, because we're a water kind of place. I don't think anybody there either, but anyway. Cool,
Yeah,
thanks.
most people don't think of pool water as drinking.
Yeah.
But that's a
All right.
going forward, so big projects. This is going to be a basically big construction project. And then how are rates figured? And so this is where we talk about how, public agencies were not for profit, so it's based on cost of service. 70% of our costs are fixed. Carol may want to change these numbers, but this is what we've got right now. 30% are variable. Used to be when we belonged to California Urban Water Management Council that you had to have your fixed much lower, even though it was higher, and your variable could be higher, even though it was lower. That was a BMP. It's like, okay, make it up, but it doesn't make any sense because that's not the way it is. Fixed costs, pipes, wells, pumps, valves, reservoirs, hydrants, those are going to stay fixed. Variable costs, electricity, chemicals, labor, equipment, those are going to vary. So, this is ballpark.
Which labor are you referring to?
Yeah, the labor's funny. I would argue a big part of our labor is fixed.
Yeah.
Because you can't drop, if we sold zero water, we still have to have a big labor pool to maintain the system.
Okay,
So I'm not
well,
quite sure, that one we have to finesse a little bit.
tell me how you would,
I'm not,
we can work on it.
No, there's the,
Yeah,
That's one of the things that we always have to answer to the public, is that we raise our rate,
We sold less water, yeah.
Not oil, but our costs here to
Yeah.
operate are fixed.
right, right,
So,
right.
And where would you put replacement? Is that fixed or variable?
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
part of
thank
the
you.
replace or
It
build
needs to
new.
be up there because I know it's part of our rates.
Okay,
I
excellent.
would consider it a fixed cost.
Part, actually, it's hidden.
It's becoming, and it will become bigger as we get closer to going out, so.
Yeah, the labor is kind of like partly fixed and partly.
Big bulk.
Not very much of it's variable. though.
Well, medical costs.
Well,
No.
that, to
Right.
me, that's a fix, and it's only variable because
it's-
insurance keeps going up, but all of those keep
Well,
going up.
electricity keeps going. up.
Variable
Yeah,
labor.
So that might be what was thought, I don't know.
Variable labor is labor that's dependent on how much water you sell.
Which we don't have a lot of. Most of our labor is independent of the.
So,
They,
Anyway, it's minor.
Okay,
okay.
okay, well, we can work on that.
Good on their heads.
Carol is helping.
Yes, Carol's all over this.
Okay, next. So this is a critical question that we get asked a lot. Why do the rates keep going up when I'm using less water? It doesn't seem right. So then we have to explain how our cost of service remains the same. We provide service 24/7, 365, no matter what. You can go away to Europe for 6 weeks and never flush your toilet, but we're still here, ready to take dirty water and clean it up. Your tap will still run with clean water, and, that's the way it is. We have to build infrastructure long before anyone can occupy a home. We have to have a fire suppression system operational. We have to have drinking water available, clean water, ready, dirty water ready to be cleaned, all before any home gets occupied. So we are incurring debt long before we can take any fees or rates or whatever. So, fixed costs are greater than variable costs, bottom line. So that's those messages. And if you have any other points I can add to the argument, I'll take them gladly. Next. So, now we want to talk about what was our water supply at risk. If you were here in 2014, 2015, you might have experienced disappointment in how much water you could have. And so, there are a lot of things that contribute to that, and a drought is one, but aging infrastructure, whether it's local, regional, state, federal, you've seen a lot of things that have been breaking. And just like your house, your car need to be replaced, need to be repaired, so does our system. So do our systems. Changing regulations, environmental protection, the co-equal goals in the delta, fishery limits, delta smelt, and the other gazillion species behind them. Changes in water quality throughout the year, the delta's fragile, levees are at risk, and then climate change. It used to be the past could predict the future, but now the climate, the weather's so unpredictable, it doesn't predict the future. It's throw the dice and try to figure it out. So now the next few slides are going to show these. Here's the aging infrastructure, more aging infrastructure. This didn't get as much news as Orville, but this got a lot of news. Yep, more, keep going. Delta crisis, all kinds of issues, that was a little smell up there. Here's the changes in water because of the algae bloom. How beautiful, huh?
It's kind of pretty.
I know, unless you're drinking it.
Yeah.
Here's our fragile delta system next. Okay, California water fix. This is the state's solution to making things better, having different conveyance solutions, twin tunnels you'll hear about, maybe one tunnel, single tunnel, lots of options. Comprehensive statewide plan that'll benefit all Californians with co-equal goals to the species and to us. Yes?
How come you didn't say it's going to provide us more water?
Because I like to say what's factual. Is that a good answer?
Well, the reason I asked that is because it quickly corralled me down at the CSDA, and he was, yeah, he was so excited that they had approved the Delta fix, and of course I made one of my faces, and he said, "You don't agree?" No. Anyway, and so I said, well, first of all, you shouldn't be doing this now because we're looking at all the options. And I said, secondly, it doesn't provide us any more water. Oh, you're wrong. The press is wrong. It is. Now, fortunately, they were calling us into lunch or breakfast or something, and I managed to escape. But that's going to be one of their arguments, so I don't
Well, it's
understand.
not up there. It's not up there. But it does balance ag, urban, environmental needs, and the goal is sustainable management of water. So that's the state water action plan. Remember when John Blair came and spoke to us a couple years ago? That was when they were rolling out the state water action plan, and that includes this.
So one of the arguments that they'll make, so it's not any new water. So we've lost 15 or 20% of our water in the last decade in the Delta. There's another 10 to 20% that we're going to lose. The idea is to staunch any further deterioration. Some people will say that's more water, but a different way, maybe more accurately saying is it's preventing further deterioration of water supply is really what the project does.
That's false.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next. So this is,
Maybe that should be one of the points.
Yes.
Further deterioration of our supply here to build.
of our water loss, good.
Yeah.
Good idea. Okay, so this is an example of the same place, different times, and how climate change is.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How was that?
Browns Ravine Cove, south shore of Fulton Lake. Good times for that. Yeah. Next. And so, how can we strengthen our water supply? There's all kinds of things that Tri-Valley water agencies are looking at, exploring, keeping options open. Additional storage at Los Vaqueros and at Sykes Reservoir, those are storage possibilities. California water fix is an option. Potable reuse, there's a big study, feasibility study going on right now. And then regional East Bay desalination. I don't know if I should mention something about North Bay water transfers possibility, or if there are other options that you want added to the list.
I think North Bay water transfers on in there, you know, because I think people know we've been talking.
Exploring. Okay. Okay. So then we get down to what you can do as an individual to help our water supply. And it's the whole thing about using water wisely. And we offer a rebate right now for people who want to replace parts of their lawn with low water use plantings, and use sprinklers or drip lines instead of sprinklers. There's support any kind of funding for water supply reliability and infrastructure projects. They come out to you and say, hey, here's what potable reuse is going to cost, or here's what desal is going to cost. Be supported. This is part of our water supply. And support California water fix. Ag is critical to California's economy. The ag contributes $100 million to local economy and suffer greatly without it. So you might want to edit this.
Yeah.
I don't think you have 3 votes for the third one. Yeah. You might have 1 or 2.
Well, tell me how you want it.
I would stay silent on the water fix.
Okay.
We have not taken a
Just
position
take that
on it.
bullet off.
Yeah, that would be
Okay,
good.
we can do that. We can do that. And next. Okay, so this is are you interested in serving on the board? Anytime we go out and give a talk, this is to let people know About DSRSD, we have a board of directors. They're elected for 4-year terms and even numbered years in November elections. And we have 2 terms expiring in 2018, 3 in 2020. To be eligible, you have to be 18 and a registered voter and live in our service area. In other words, pay us a bill.
When do we get a $10 raise?
Yeah, it's 146.
Oh, 146, thank you. And never went back up from 2008, 2009. Okay, we'll fix that. And I think that's
We
it.
could get ourselves ready.
Oh, there's a T, go back.
What?
Directors to Board of Directors, last line. T
Oh,
at the
thank
end
you,
of
give it a
directors.
T. Thank you, thank you. You guys have good eyes. Okay, and the last one is,
Yeah.
I gotta click faster.
the last one is question time, or additional comments or whatever.
Put the answer
Maybe-
on the road.
Maybe you ought to put,
Spell your name right too, at DSRSD.
email directors through our website, so they
Oh.
ought to get us too.
Good idea. I can add that to the director's
Yeah.
page?
Yeah.
Okay. Contact the directors.
All right.
Your email address.
Oh,
Oh, interesting.
she was the one people did.
Yeah, good luck trying to reach me.
The draft, it is. You should have put the draft watermark across the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this has been vetted so many times, I can't tell you. All these things got
When
me
you,
caught.
when you get it final, can we have copies?
Oh, certainly. Do you want it with the notes also? Because there's a gazillion facts
Yes.
underneath each one of these, or many of
Yes.
these slides. More than
Yes.
you will ever want to know. I assure
More
you.
than we should know.
Maybe.
It's good to have. Okay, I know we did some as we're going. Any questions, any feedback? I have a couple, so.
No, it's good. That's why we're doing it.
So, 23, that's not bad.
Oh,
So on the, and we'll talk about the main deck that we're all sharing versus our own private deck.
right,
On the main deck, I know you're doing speaker training,
right.
and even though we may not be 100% gung-ho for the water fix, I think to play nice, we don't need to undermine it.
Right.
So I would be extremely careful with terms Southern California, SoCal, water level Southern California.
Okay.
The way that I always characterize it is, with respect to water, Southern California starts with Doty Valley Water.
Ah,
I mean, we are Southern.
yes, yes.
The state water project can't be divided legally. So if we're going to get our water from it, they have to get their water from it proportionally.
Got it.
So, that term is really loaded, and
Okay.
and it's going to be really hard because people just throw that out.
Right.
On your risk slide, I mean, the biggest risk in my mind is our concentration risk. That could be 80% of our water from one place,
Right.
no matter what place that is. And then the only other thing is you're probably, have your speakers prepped for the taste and smell cranks.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're going to get, at some point, not too deep in this thing, you're going to get taste and smell crank questions. That's all I have for feedback. What do you, is this aiming, obviously adults can handle this, remember that kind of stuff. High
Maybe
school,
high school.
maybe seventh, maybe middle school. I don't think my fifth grader could do it. My
Yeah, I think high school,
seventh grade, yeah.
High school did
Excuse me, I don't think my sixth grader could do it. By the time he gets to ninth, he probably, or eighth, he probably could.
yeah.
Kind of where does it fall in terms of your curriculum, I know they used to do some stuff with the fifth graders.
Fifth grade's all about recycling.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this is too much for a fifth grader.
Right, this is beyond them. But I will look and see.
And you may need to slim down deck with some of the economics
Oh, yeah.
out of it, but
Yeah,
remember how they got everybody to turn against smoking? They turned their kids against their parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do not underestimate
no, I know.
Power of the child.
getting in with kids.
Exactly.
Brainwash them early.
Fun. That's going to be fun. And I think in your staff report, you're gonna have training for people so we can be somewhat consistent.
Right,
Awesome.
that's the theory.
And we're going to be collaborating with the other agencies, we're fighting, tackling each other's presentations, and we'll see how things play out, and we'll find out.
Well, that's really good.
Yeah, we'll morph this,
How many slides?
43. A lot.
It's probably 13.
Right.
You're gonna need to, once you get all this good content, and this
There is
my last
some
piece of feedback, I
repetition.
promise, but you're gonna want a good heavy edit.
Right,
More than 25 slides, 30 slides, you can
right.
Awesome.
So will this be a one-size-fits-all, I mean, for the 4 retailers exactly? We're all going to do the same one, or
The
we're going
first-
to kind of tailor it to
The
us?
first part that you saw should be similar, should be the same for all the agencies. When you get into where's the money come from, where's the money go, that should be specific to the agency.
Everybody will be doing their own
Yeah,
tailoring.
that's the theory.
There was that break point about 2/3 of the way through, or,
The colorful graphs came in.
Specific.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, good luck. I kind of heard cats. Hopefully that helped a little bit.
Oh, it did,
Right.
it did, thank you.
All right, and we have no action on this item, so I think we can thank Sue, give her a thank you. And move on to item 10, which is board member items. Submittal of written reports from travel and training attended by directors. Who was right to my left today? Christine?
Me first?
My medium.
Okay. First of all, I attended the CASA Board Retreat September 10th through the 12th. It was very, very useful. Again, we were pretty much focused on the strategic plan and the, leadership changes, the fact that CASA's in a similar state that DSRSD is in that the 5 senior people, 3 of them are ready for retirement in the next 2 or 3 years. So we did a lot of succession work. We talked about the content of the committees. Should they change? Should they be the same? They want to stop, they want to continue talking about, because after we went into succession planning and the strategic plan, we talked about specific things, and so we wanted to address specific things that were currently problems for our agencies, and things like renewable energy, flushable wipes, which aren't, biosolids, recycled water, and nutrients. And so they're trying to get back into getting the legislature to look specifically at these things and quit going off, off in wild card directions, not knowing what they're doing. There is, on the website, there's a way you can sign up if you want to serve on any committees. We are currently in a big membership recruitment, and so they're putting together, a new member kit, which we tell people, or not a member yet, prospective member kit, which we tell people all of the things of why you want to join, what's important, what leadership tools do you get out of it. So anyway, it was good 1 3/4 days of constant discussion about the direction of CASA and the leadership as we see it. And then I also attended the CSDA conference last week. Now, one of the specific things I took was, because I hadn't finished my harassment, is I wanted to take these sessions on harassment. They were fantastic. They make the little slideshow we saw sound like kindergarten. It was amazing. There are things that are now considered harassment under the law that yesterday or last week I never would have considered. I was talking with Sue about it. I think it was Sue, it might have been Nicole, I'm not sure. Anyway, for instance, I know you've all seen it, the picture that's in the back hall of the board of directors during one of the employee dinners. I have my hand on Joe Cabello's leg. Mr. McCormick was furious about that picture, that it became part of the permanent history of the district. Then it would not have been considered harassment because the two people involved didn't consider it harassment. Now it is considered harassment because he's out there and he doesn't like it. Which gets into things like hugs. If I hug someone and we're okay with it, the guy next door might not be. I mean, I could not believe this was such a valuable training session. The one we took online, I only finished 3/4 of it, but I was bored out of my mind, and it never really gave a lot of specifics. These two ladies have been doing this dual approach in their slides for, I guess, the last 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer. I can't recall what she exactly said, but in any event, if we have the ability to do a harassment training next year or 2 years from now for the whole district, it would be well worth it to invite these ladies from this law firm, Burke, Williams, and Sorensen, down here to train everybody. They were fantastic. I came away with more information than I certainly wanted, because I think all of this is way overboard. But, you know, if that's the way it's got to be, that's the way it's got to be, especially around here. But I couldn't believe the difference in the 2 levels of training. The other 2 training sessions I went to, of course I can't remember them right now because I was so impressed with that one. I can't recall them right now. Anyway, we had motivational speakers at East Meet, and each of one at breakfast and one at lunch, and I bought their books, Reaching Your Next Summit, 9 Vertical Lessons for Leading with Impact, and Eric Bowles, who used to be with the NFL, Moving to Great. Both of these were amazing speakers, and Ed will agree. They had you on the edge of your seat, ready to go out and fight the battle. They were both very good speakers. The other thing I brought back is the California Alliance of Special Districts gave away notepads. Those are blank notepads, and I brought enough back for our board, so sorry, I could only take so many. So you can certainly have one if you'd like. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Said so.
Yeah, I also attended the conference, and the first thing I completely agree with Georgine about the quality of the keynote speakers. In fact, it was kind of interesting that you would have 2 such dynamic speakers. One designated as keynote and one designated as kickoff, but both gentlemen were extremely inspiring. Did a good job. I attended a couple of 2 sessions each day. The first one I did was managing public meetings and public records in electronic age, and this has been covered before quite extensively with Carl. But the presentation focused on the importance of websites, managing emails, and the Public Records Act. And of course, we all know now that personal emails are writings and they're subject to the PRA based on that recent court decision from the City of San Jose versus Superior Court. The second session I went to that day was on prevailing wage updates. The attorney is a longtime friend of ours from our Contractors Association, Deborah Wilder. And the 2 key points, which again I know that staff is very well aware of, greatly expanded categories that are now subject to prevailing wage, not just out of the construction contract. than in our operations. And if we want to do minor remodels, our update here in the lobby, we ran into that trouble with the fact that you could get a carpet layer, a small firm that would do that job because they didn't want to have to deal with the anyway. The level is being raised up to $25,000, but as we've been saying for 50 years in public works construction business, $25,000 doesn't buy you a damn thing. It's just peanuts. So the impact of that, all of the legislation that's been thrust upon Sacramento from the construction trade unions in particular is really getting this past, way past being out of hand. And of course, the nuances on another one is that we as owners, as the agency, we can now be penalized for not monitoring certified payrolls and reporting contractor violations. So you don't want to get me started on at 3:30, I went over to one called A New Look at Design Immunity. This one I thought very interesting. In fact, it's a 32-slide PowerPoint, which I'm going to send to Carl because it was a complicated overview of design immunity for a public agency. Maybe Doug can comment on it. Well aware of it. But in essence, when you have an accident on our grounds, we can present a defense that essentially relies on the fact that the design of any feature in a public works improvement protects the agency if it was done by a design professional and approved as such. And it gets much deeper than that. I mean, everybody was just, we were kind of almost lost, but I've got the PowerPoint and I'll send it to everybody. I think it's worth reading. Also went to a CEQA session. You all know how complicated CEQA can get, especially when it comes to the definition of what project is subject to CEQA and what is not. And I also went on the Winning the War for Talent one, and it was a very good presentation. It was covering everything from new employee orientation to providing access for trade unions, any public sector union to any kind of employee that is now been mandated. So I brought copies of all these handouts. I've got a folder for Carol, Jeff, and Judy. So it was a good session. Lots to learn. I recommend that everybody try to go to one of these conferences during your 4 years because it's amazing what you find out.
I have one thing to add, because I went to one of the things about dealing with the media, and their recommendation, and maybe we have one and I sort of spaced it out, but they're recommending now because of the San Jose case that everybody have a policy regarding media, what we do with our emails, what we do with our Facebook posts, on and on and on. Because of the fact that now, if we handle any business at all through our personal emails, that they're open for review. And not that there's things hiding in there, but you really don't want, if you send an email off to your kid and call him out or something, you don't really want that to be part of the public record, but you've made it part of the public record because it's on your personal phone. But anyway, they recommend that we all have a media policy now. So I don't think we do, I think we were waiting around to see what happened with San Jose, to tell you the truth.
We need social media?
Yes.
We have a real wonky one that needs to be replaced.
Okay.
Bill just reminded me that we do have a electronics policy and touches on this.
Oh, no?
We'll take a look at it.
Okay.
Agenda item for discussion.
Okay.
It said the 4-part test. It's got to be a writing content. The content relates to conduct of public business prepared by and or owned by public agencies. And that qualifies. No matter what PDA you're using. That's all I have.
And now that's why you see people running around now with 2 cell phones
Yep.
and 2 laptops. It's like the most ridiculous thing in the whole world, but whatever.
I just wanted to point out the same thing for the board, that it's one of the simplest things is your personal email is suddenly open to the Public Records Act or even to discovery if there's litigation in the district. But it does have to be, the public business has to be transacted, like be through social media, without a doubt. Personal emails, even if they are sent through district equipment, can be protected in that way. But once you use your personal email for business purposes, public business purposes, it opens that up. Your personal emails, then, they don't mix in with that, but you have to send it to discovery, which can mean someone else has to.
Whoever wants to go
You
through
become subject to review.
3 million emails. Yeah.
The only thing I have is, after all these decades, we have a water meter at Dublin.
Oh, wow.
It only took, I don't know, we've been there 30-some years.
That's crazy. Okay. That's it. So not only Sacramento's resistant, but also the values. I have a very short one. Anybody, a lot of you are on the Dublin Sister City email distribution group, some of you may not be. The annual barbecue, which is always a fun event, it's pretty low key, it's free, which is a good price, is next Friday, 10:13 to 6 to 9. If you haven't gotten an invite, because you're not on the email list and you are interested at all, just contact me. Just don't address that, so.
Always lots of fun.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, we're going to miss it.
One last announcement, I won't be here for the next regular session.
Okay. So that's when we're going to have the pony, a party.
And I won't be participating in that.
No. All righty. So I think we have flogged the board member items sufficiently. We are going to go into some closed sessions. I have a script. At this time, the board will be going into closed sessions for the matters described on the agenda under items 11A and 11B. The broadcast will be stopped now, as it is anticipated there will be no report in closed session. Any report will be announced in open session at the end of this meeting. Contact the district secretary during the regular district business hours for that information. The attendees are as listed with one exception. Carl Nelson's listed, and obviously it'll be Doug Cody tonight for both sessions. Now, thank you very much. For the rest of the evening.
Get to take your notepad if you want one.
I need to go.
Yeah, no, no, these are-
Actually, Beth might want